about some Slab City tales. I'm actually, as of like literally an hour ago, I was like, you know what? I want to get back to fun live streams and just talk about things that I know about, which is things that I've experienced myself. Because, everything else is pure conjecture, but I know what I've seen and done, and a lot of the last like decade and a half I've spent in Slab City, or you know, uh, for I. For the folks that I think that a lot of you here right now are regulars, it looks like. So I'm just gonna say hi to folks before I get into it, and yeah, let new folks find the stream so that they can get kind of the little rundown, because anybody that's been watching me for more than a couple years. Satan, can you stop? Hey, please go lay down. She's bumping the table. Anybody that's been around for watching my channel for more than a couple years, probably a lot about my experience in slabs, and if you've gone back and watched some of my videos, you have a pretty good idea of how things go. And I did make a lot of videos during my first years homesteading in slabs. That's when I started my channel in 2014. But I want to talk about even earlier than that, before I started my channel, and when I first got to slabs. So I'm gonna take a minute. Let's see. Charles says, I remember when you met up with Mike Living Free. You guys were out by the tanks. Yeah, that is the exact. Well, that was I want to say maybe 2014, just before I moved into the library. Um, yeah, I think that was like 2013, 2014, something like that. So that's like the end of the era that I want to talk about today. But yeah, that was my first video upload was after I think Mike did a video with me the year before I started my streams, but I didn't start streaming until like a couple of years ago, but before I started my channel. So that's interesting that you mentioned that, man. You've been following for a while. Let's see. Just a Mom, Sam, Gnome, what's up? Robin, Chris, Jose or Josie, Ryo, yo, what's up? Brandy, hey, how's it going? Sick. Mama D, hell yeah, we got some folks here. Okay, cool. That's great. Jasper, how's it going? All right, well, I see a few slabbers in here, so welcome. That's really great. I know it's not the same as actually coming to your camp and hanging out, but it's close. So it's been really cold here in LA today, and it's been raining all day, like proper rain. You think of rain in California, and it's usually like a light mist, but when it rains, it does rain, like, and yeah, it's been coming down, and it's chilly. So I guess it's good that it's raining for the fires, but it's also bad that it's raining for the fires here, because there's possible toxic washout that will happen, that will take all of that toxic shit that was burned and just put it into the soil, which is not good. And also, if it rains a lot, it'll flood roads so that fire trucks can't get through. So, yeah. Hey, what's up, Captain? Awesome. Okay, so earlier today, like right when I got here to the studio, I don't know what I was thinking about, but I think what was it? I was just kind of on a thought process, and I started thinking about back in the old days, after I had moved into the library. I want to say, and I'll talk about it more later this week, but like circa 2015, I want to say, to 2017, we started playing a really fucked up version of Capture the Flag, and we called it the Pirate Games. And that was a whole thing. I'm not going to get on that rant today. I was planning to do um, the pirate games talk and just tell you about all that craziness. But I wasn't sure if Captain was going to be able to come in on stream today, and I didn't want the Captain to miss the pirate game tales. So um, I I started thinking about other subjects, and then I decided. Um, Captain said he was going to be in, obviously, so that's cool. But by the time that he had gotten back to me, I was already like thinking about other topics that I could do for today. And then I was like, you know what? Chronologically, it would make more sense if I talked about my what it was like when I first got to slabs, because a lot of folks a lot of folks on the internet that have not been in slabs for that long talk like they have been. Like they'll be like, I've been here 15 years, blah blah blah. I know all of this and that, and it's like, bro, I've been here since technically 2011. But like I just passed through at that point. I didn't spend like I spent maybe 2 nights in slabs, in 3 days or something like that in 2011 as like a scouting mission. But I didn't really get to know anybody or anything like that. I got a map from the dude that used to live at the 420 camp next to the skate park, and and I went to the hot spring and we camped in a bush and that was about it. But the next year in 2012, I want to say, or later in 2011 into 2012, I can't quite recall. Was when I actually spent some time there, and you know, like I'll hear people talking about being in slabs for so long, and I'm like, dude, I was literally there, and you were not. Like anybody can say that shit. So keep that in mind when you're looking up Slab City information. You know, anybody can get on the internet and say anything, and a lot of times in slabs you'll go and somebody will be a dick to you and they'll be like, I've been here for 15 years, and like because they don't know who the fuck I am. But this has happened to me a few times. It's always very funny when it does, and you know, they think that they can just like throw that around and get clout and respect for nothing. And it's like, dude, you've been here 2 months. Like, shut the fuck up. You don't get to tell me what to do. So yeah, I've been going to slabs for a long time, and I homesteaded in slabs year round for almost 7 years, and I spent a lot of time um, seasonally before then and afterward. Um, so let's see. Let's take a look. Ryo says, "I'm curious about 2012 off slabs." Yeah, it was a crazy time because like it still had like this kind of magic. I mean, there obviously there's a lot of magic in slabs, but like this was before most people had a smartphone. Like smartphones, I don't think like really fully existed until maybe like I don't know, like maybe in 2012 people had smartphones, but it wasn't like most people. Most people had like a shitty flip phone, like a Nokia or like a fucking Razor or something back in that day. I think I think I literally had like a Nokia or some shit at that time. So like there wasn't the social media influence and presence there, which I was a big part of when I started my YouTube channel. But that's a whole different thing. And there wasn't reception out there much. So the internet cafe was a lot more relevant back in that time, and I spent a lot of time at the internet cafe. Like back in 2012, I had a shitty pocket phone, you know, that you only use for phone calls and texts, right? You don't scroll on the internet on your phone back in these days. And I had my computer, which I could take to the internet cafe and go online and check my Facebook and shit. So there was a lot more wonder, and back in that era, I was resistant to technology. I wasn't like against it. I just didn't want to rush in and embrace it so much. Like I held off on getting a smartphone until I got my first Obama phone, which was like I want to say in like 2016 or something like that. Um, 20, yeah, sometime around there. And yeah, geez, and I didn't use like GPS for the longest time after GPS became um, pretty standard for most folks to be using. Like I used paper maps and I looked up online and like wrote directions down, and like I resisted that for a long time because I could see that this was going to be the new way and I wanted to hold on to that like pre smartphone magic for a little bit longer and just kind of resist, you know. And a lot of people in slabs did that too. Um, so like wandering around and finding people and meeting people was just like so much more of a mystery because there weren't all these groups online and we didn't have Facebook groups in that time for slabbers, so you couldn't go and check on the Facebook group and see what events were going on and go to them. You would have to just like put your boots on and just wander around the desert until you heard some cool music or people laughing and cooking food together out in the open, or you know, whatever. Um, and yeah, anyway, um, let's see. William says, Corn, you look good. Thank you. Uh, oh, hey, what's up, Baloo? Baloo says, John Holdson finally found out how to chat. What's up, dude? Yeah, Baloo was there too back in that day. Actually, I don't know. I think you. When was the first year that you came out to Slabs? I know it was like. I don't know if we crossed paths like my first couple years. Eduardo says punk rock, man. Hell yeah. Oh, Captain's hard at work slaying trolls. That's delicious. Awesome. Ola corn from an old East Jesuit. Cool. What's up, Peter Mullins? I didn't know you were East Jesuit. That's interesting. Sounds so prehistoric. Yeah, it was cool because like back in that time too. I relied on my computer a lot. Like I would pirate fuck tons of music, like entire discographies, and then I'd go out into the desert, and then I'd have all my music on my, you know, my external hard drive, and plug it in and listen. I listened to a lot of Beck back then, so Beck was kind of like my desert soundtrack for a while. I had his entire discography. I rocked that a lot. A lot of System of a Down, and um, a lot of weird stuff. I still have some of my collection, but so I would get a fuck ton of music and movies and download them and then like have them on my physical hard drive and take that with me. And then when I wanted to listen to music and watch TV and stuff, I felt like a baller because, you know, I'm out in the middle of the desert off grid, and you know, I didn't have solar power back then myself. I would go charge my computer at the internet cafe or at a. There weren't really many establishments back in that time where you could go and plug in. Solar Mike had his setup, but I never really went over there to plug in. And a few other folks that had been living there for a while had solar setups, but like solar has come a really long way since 2012 as well. I didn't get my own solar panel until yeah, probably like 2020. Well, I I inherited a couple busted solar panels that were left at the library when I moved in, but that was in 2014. So I think I think before I moved into the library, I had purchased a antique solar panel from Papa Jimmy, which I I don't know where Papa Jimmy is nowadays, but he was somebody that I hung out with a lot because he was an old timer that had been in slabs for a few years at that point. But he was a tricky guy to do deals with, and anytime I would do a trade with him, he would make it seem like a really really sweet deal, right? And then there would be like some underlying agreements that I wasn't aware of. So I knew when I got that panel, like I wasn't gonna see the end of it. But he was always good for a deal. It's just it was like kind of like doing a deal with the devil, right? So, but I think I got my first solar panel in like 2013, 2014, sometime before I moved in the library. Or maybe shortly after. I don't remember. I don't think I ever had a solar panel installed on my van. Um, I would run my van and like plug my stuff into the 12-volt charger, but that's not very fuel efficient. And when you're broke in the middle of the desert, running your van just to charge a laptop so you can watch a couple movies is just not very practical. So we did without a lot of the time. And obviously, you got instruments, you play guitar around the fire and stuff. Spicoli likes my bottle cap necklace. Hell yeah, thank you. And to all you newbies showing up in chat, unless you have something interesting to say that's like on topic, I'm just gonna ignore your comments because otherwise I'm gonna be answering the same stupid questions forever and ever. So yeah, you know, I'm just gonna ignore the comments that I don't care about, and if you get offended by that, then I'll probably just kick you out of the chat. Okay. Also, I am non-binary. I'm trans-masculine non-binary, so my pronouns are they, them, or he, him. Sounds like the 90s, early 2000s. I kind of wish I was an adult in 2012 and came. Yeah, right. I forget that you're so much younger, but yeah, it was like an RPG, like an adventure game. You'd wake up in the morning having no idea what the fuck is going on because you can't like go on your phone and scroll through your social media and see what the news of the day is. Like I went out to the desert to avoid hearing about the news because it was just as dismal as it is today, believe it or not. I mean, it's definitely a lot darker now, but it if you're like me and you can see the patterns of history, you knew that this was all coming. But I felt the same way back then, and when the election that Obama won was happening, I think that was in 2011, 2012. I can't remember. I was in the middle of the desert. I didn't want to hear anything about the news or politics or anything. I was just like, I'm gonna do acid and putz around in the sand and make art, and I don't care what's going on out in the real world, right? And a lot of people came out to slabs for that too, just to escape the real world, and all the stupid stuff that goes on, and just mind their own goddamn business and enjoy peace and quiet when available in the desert, or like you can be in an area where there's more noise, and you could be in an area where there's quieter noise. And there was when I got to slabs, it was kind of the end of the old era, and there were a lot of people, younger folks coming in, dirty kids as we were called, which is traveling street kids, and like young. Like when I say kids, I mean like somebody younger than 30, I guess. That's like just kind of the street lingo, like um, and there most of the people that were in slabs up until around that point were old timers because people didn't really know about it. You kind of had to be like an old hippie in the know, and they communicated amongst each other through CB radio before cell phones were a thing, and they had like their whole own way of life and customs and culture. And when I arrived there was a lot of like resentment from the old timers toward younger folks around my age when I started coming out, and like they didn't want younger people into their clubs. Like the Oasis Club was just like anybody could go there, but you would get a little bit of little static if you were younger than 50. It was, and some folks still call it the old asses club, but back then, it was like colloquially known as the old asses club. That's where the old people hang out. Young folks, we hang out around a fire near the Rainbow Kitchen bus for the free food and get drunk in the middle of the day out next to the fucking main road in, flipping off people, and just being rowdy as hell, and that's what you do. And yeah, the old timers were just kind of like, we don't want to be around all that. And who can blame them? Because up until that point, Slab City kind of had more of a retirement community sort of feel to it, like a weird back roads, off grid, like hippie RV park sort of deal, but a little edgier, So whoops, dang it. So they had a little bit of resentment toward the younger folks coming in, and I remember the first the first old timers I spoke to and like became friends with were Willie Fly or Fly Willie. Some people call him. It doesn't matter either or. I think he might have been one of the first friends that I made out there. And Builder Bill was one of my first friends as well because he was running the range. He's been running the range for like 18 years now, something like that. Um, and he had been running it for a long time when I first got out there. And of course, I'm gonna go to where the music's happening. So that's how I met him. Um, shit. Papa Jimmy also, obviously. Oh, Mike Bright. Mike Bright was he was one of the people who was actually cool with younger folks, but he would still talk a lot of shit, which was really funny because he'd be like, "You fucking young kids, you're ruining the slabs, and fuck you, and this and that." But he'd also like, share his beer with you. He'd be like, "You fucking kids are ruining the slabs. Have a beer, you stupid fucking dirty kid." Like, shut up and listen to me tell this cool ass story about something. And I always thought he was really fun. First time I met Mike Bright was we were playing lawn darts with Willie Fly, and like just out near the back then it was called we just called it Moth's tank because Moth lived there. The big tank, the sewage tank, that there's some type of drama over right now, but we were just like out in the open desert throwing lawn darts around, and fucking Mike Bright rides up out on his motorized cooler. I don't know who made it for him or whatever, but he was known for that. He would ride around on a literal cooler full of beer, and it had like off-road tires on it for like for obvious reasons because it's mostly in the desert. But like I was just like, who the hell is this guy? And he just like pulls up and he gives me a beer and he's like, "What you doing?" And I tried to answer, but then he completely ignored me because he did not care for younger folks. He didn't give a shit about what I had to say, which is I respect that. That's fine. And he like starts chatting with Willie, and he's like, "Okay, carry on. You kids should come over to the Oasis Club." And I'm like, "I thought we weren't allowed at the Oasis Club." And he's like, "Yeah, you can come to the Oasis Club." And I'm like, "Okay, sick, dude." Um, so that was cool. Let's see who else. Oh, and Lynn Bright, obviously. That's also when I met Lynn. And shit, I'm gonna catch up in chat and see who's all chatting here. Builder Bill is a very awesome human. Yes, he is. One of my favorite people. Okay. Wow, chat's popping off. Damn. Okay. Mama D says, I love you. Hope to see you soon. We've missed chilling. Oh, me too. Thought we weren't allowed at the Oasis Club. Classic dirty kids. Yeah, I know, but I don't know. That was the moment that I was like, you know, I like this guy. He's gonna talk shit and make his opinion known, but he's still gonna be like inviting in some way. Like that's some classic dirty kid shit. He's just like, fuck you, kid. Have a beer. Come to my Oasis Club. We'll tolerate you. You know? Oh man. Yeah. Oh yeah, and fucking shit. What's his name at the internet cafe before Rob? I know his fucking name. He's still around. Not in the slabs, but what was it, man? I can't remember. Hell yeah, mod's hard at work. Love that. Robin says, Klepto, you'll be going soon. Oh, I love it. Oh, you guys. Great. Don't forget Sandy. Oh, Sandy. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, Sandy had a big impact on me artistically. I knew you'd be good for reminding me of these folks. I missed your comment earlier when I asked when you first came to Slabs, too, because the chat's just popping off. But yeah, Sandy was a staple of the slab community, and her art is still all over slabs. Like, she left a huge mark on folks. I didn't get to hang out with her as much as I wished that I had, but just before she passed, she had been putting together a weekly jam session and was trying to have a band put together, and I was going to be part of that band. And we only had one practice before she passed, so that's it's really, yeah, you never know when people are gonna go, so appreciate folks, especially if they're older folks. Appreciate them while they're around. He's in prison now. I assume you're talking about fucking internet not internet Rob. Frank, thank you. Fuck. I knew Frank pretty well too. That's why I was frustrating that I couldn't remember his name. Like, I hung out with Frank like every day for most of a couple of seasons, actually. He's in prison. I heard he got into something, but I wasn't trying to be nosy about other people's business because it's not really pertinent. But I didn't know he was like, ew, that's not good. Yeah. And I know he came back out to the internet cafe at some point, like a couple of years ago, and stuck around for a little while. But yeah, he left and passed it on, and I don't know if it's still like running. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's still running, but I don't know at what capacity. You know what I mean? Which of my mods want to get the troll bot? Absolute brain rot. There we go. Good job. Let's see. Yeah, and there were like weekly events back then, but not like the biggest events that would happen over the week were at the range at Bill's place, and you know, obviously every Saturday he would do open mic, and I was there every Saturday playing because I didn't have my own guitar back then or my own bass. I was primarily playing bass back then because I didn't want to travel with a bass and just trash it. And how would I, you know? Anyway, it just logistically it just wasn't gonna work. So my chance to practice every week was at the range on the house bass or practicing with whoever had a bass. At the, you know, sometimes the house bass would be busted or not available for whatever reason, so I'd have to like troll around the crowd and find the bassists and be like, hey buddy, can I play your bass? And then I'd have to go and find somebody else and be like, hey, I noticed you have a set coming up, and I heard you don't have a bassist. Do you want a bassist? And you can kick me off if I do bad. And they'd be like, yeah, all right. And then I usually get to play like with a set or two um, during that time. But yeah, there wasn't really like a lot of big weekly events. Mostly it was just like the acoustic jam at Oasis Club was happening and has been happening for I don't even know how long, and and there were other like pop up kind of establishments that people would set up for the season, and a lot of them would distribute food. Also, there was Sunday. Another event that you could count on was the Sunday sermon with preacher Dave, and they would also do free food at the Blue Church, which was really important for a lot of people because like that was the main public free food, as we call it, a feed, every week. And like that was one of the first things that I heard about as far as community stuff when I was looking up what Slab City was like before I went out there. And I really did not look up. I actually didn't like research Slab City at all before I went. I had just heard that it was a place, and a guy that I picked up and traveled with in my van during my first year on the road told me about it, and he marked it on my map. He literally like put a little X on my road map and was like, "That's where Slabs is. You should go there and check it out." And I was like, "Sick!" And then I did. Wonder if Kaz is still out there. Yeah, Kaz is still out there. Kaz, Kaz moved in, I believe, the year after I moved into the library, and he was part of the library for a season or so before he moved into his place where he's at. Um, Unless he moved recently, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he's still doing his thing. But that was in like 2014, 2015, something like that. Um, but yeah, at that point, Slabs was starting to change a bit. Um, like I said, like when I first went out there, there weren't like a whole lot of establishments. It was pretty much like the Range, the Oasis Club. Um, what else? Internet cafe. Shit. Yep. There really wasn't much. That's kind of and the church. Solar Mike was out there. Uh, let's see. Yeah, there was a few like staple community um, establishments that everybody would go to, but for the most part, it was just kind of free for all, open desert. You're just camping and hanging out. Um, and over the years, like there there weren't any establishments back then that had been operated for more than a season, or lasted through the summer at that point until maybe 2013 or 2014, 2013, 2012. Honestly, I think, yeah, Circus Camp was the first camp operated by young people that lasted through a summer that I had heard of. Up until that point, it was just old timers that were there throughout the year. Um, yeah, there really was a division between young folks and old timers back then. There really was, and I know that there were probably a lot of establishments that were like a little more low key that only the older folks knew about, where they'd go and do like breakfast socials together or weird sex parties. I know that they were doing that. I don't know. I probably Baloo could tell us a little bit more about that because he purchased one place that had hosted those. Um, but I know that the older folks did have like their whole own kind of hidden subculture that they kept from us. Um, and they had like, nowadays I don't know what happened to Loners on Wheels, but back then that whole strip coming off of Beale past the skate park, that was Loners on Wheels, and you had to be part of their club to move into certain areas. And they would like circle the wagons, as it were. They'd get their RVs and park in a big circle together and just have their own like kind of gated community sort of situation. Um, and they yeah, they were really just not like not open to folks like me just wandering through, and I tried. Other people like me did too. That's probably what pissed them off more. They were like, these fucking drunk ass kids wandering through my camp while I'm trying to smoke my weed and do whatever weird old people sex stuff I'm trying to do and pass out in my cool RV because this is my retirement plan because I've got my priorities straight. Um, yeah, it was different. It was very. I don't want to say segregated because that's like kind of not a pro, but it it was divided. And like the few years that I started first going to slabs was kind of when the line started disappearing, and it just started moving more towards how slabs is today. I'm just gonna check into chat here. Um, anyway, if you enjoy my tales of slabs, feel free to get down with the takedown. There are links in the description. There's PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. I am a broke ass homeless motherfucker from Slab City, so feel free to make it rain on this cracker. Wait, I said it wrong. Spread some cheese on this. Wait, I'm I'm just kidding. Actually, no, I'm not kidding. I ate an edible. That's why. That's why this is happening. You can fucking throw down so that I can get more stone so I can forget what I'm talking about on my live streams. Feel free to get down with the kickdown. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna catch up in chat here now. Yeah, I'm broke as a joke, and I'm too broke to even pay attention to my own jokes. Um, let's see. Blue says we used to have our own parties every day. I know you did, dude. I wanted to go to them, but I was like, I'm not old enough, man. I'm like fucking 20, 22. I'm like, oh, I'm not old enough to go party with those weird old people that like definitely have it going on. I don't know what they got going on, but I know they've got it going on. I knew it, man. Let's see. Kids get off my sand. Actually, that was technically the first person that I met in slabs was German Peter. I was looking for a spot to camp, and I was like, well, it's the desert, it's the open desert, and it's Slab City. It's a free place, I guess. There's no government or whatever. I didn't really know what all, like how things worked exactly, but I saw an open patch of sand, and I was like, that looks like a great spot for my camp. I'll try it out. But I was smart, and like I've done plenty of outdoor stuff. It wasn't my first time camping in a new environment, um, and cohabitating in a counterculture sort of situation. So like I knew enough not to like bust everything out all at once and start setting everything up like I was gonna live there forever. Because when you don't know what's going on, you kind of it's better to just like here. I'll just tell you what I did. This is my method. So first I'll park somewhere and hang out. Open the doors, kind of spread out. Maybe lay out a blanket or something. Read a book. See if anybody gets pissed off. Then if that seems to go well, I'll turn on some music and then increasingly turn it up a little bit more and see if anybody gets pissed off about that. And then maybe I'll set up a hammock on a nearby tree and maybe a little shade structure and see if anybody's got something to say about that. And it was at that point that German Peter came out and he was like, "Excuse me, you're in my yard." I can't do the accent very well. I'm going to botch it, but I'm going to try it because it's funny. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" And he's like, "This is my yard." I'm sorry, I don't think I can do the German thing. And I'm like, and I think he was naked, actually. No, I think he put on like a little loincloth or something, but around his place, he would usually hang out naked, which I would find out later. Um, and I'm like, this, how is this your yard, man? Like your camp's over there. And he's like, well, actually, no. He said, yeah, he said, actually, so this is actually a wash. So when it rains, all of this is going to be underwater. And also, it's my yard. I like to hang out naked here and just like let my balls swing around. I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say that exactly. He said something about being a nudist and wanting to hang out naked, and that's where he likes to be. And if I'm there, that's going to be really awkward. And also, when it rains, I'm going to get washed out. And I was like, all right, man, that's fair enough. I can see your point. Like, all right. And so I pack up my stuff, and I'm like, even if he's lying, like I don't need. There's plenty of desert out here. I don't need to be in this guy's nudist viewing area. There's plenty of space. So I packed my stuff up and I headed up. And I ended up camping at the tanks, and that was my spot for 3 seasons. Um, and the tanks were fucking art, dude. Um, I'm just gonna take a look at the stream. Wade Johnson says, stop cussing. Fuck you, Wade Johnson. Get the fuck out of my stream. Stupid bitch. D Bapto says, hit that like button, folks. Hell yeah, hit that like button. For all intents and purposes, the like button is now a middle finger to, I forget this person's name already. It's alright. We don't need to. Wade. Wade, if you want to flip off Wade, get your thumbs out of your asses and hit the like button, okay? Right? I think it's down here for you somewhere. Just hit it, okay? And there's links in the description. I'm sure Captain's posting them in chat if you want to get down with the kickdown. All right, we got 5 fuck yous to Wade. Excellent. Thank you. Blue says, if it hadn't been for Dirty Kids, Schwillies, and Black Sheep, none of us would have got puddles. Dude. Oh, that's so rude. All right, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. Okay, yeah, dude. Yeah, okay. All right. And God bless puddles. It's raining hard out here. Holy shit. Look at that, y'all. This is a rare sight in LA. This is a really rare sight here. You enjoy that. And I'm definitely not going to lock myself out of the studio. Yeah, man, it's really coming down. Jeez. All right. Sam says, that's so weird. There has to be huge empty patches of wash space. Fine, then suddenly raging river of chaos. Yeah, that's what happens. I've seen it. I see it every season. I've seen it every rainy season in Slabs. There's somebody that is really, really adamant about building their camp in a wash, even though everybody will be like, hey, you're in a wash. Your shit's going to get fucked up when it rains. And they'll be like, it hasn't rained yet. Fuck you. I don't care. I'm going to live here forever. I'm building a farm. And it's like, okay, weirdo. Like, and then you just kind of sit back and wait for the rain. And then when it does, you drive by and kind of laugh at them openly while eating popcorn. Actually, there's a big wash near the library. And like almost every season that I lived at the library, somebody would try to build a camp in it. And I'd go over there like a good neighbor and be like, hey buddy, your shit's gonna get fucked unless, like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but this is a wash, okay? And if you camp here, like, everything that you build here is gonna get trashed, and I'm gonna have front row seats to it. And they'd be like, I don't have to do what you tell me. I came here so nobody could tell me what to do. And it's like, well, all right, have fun with that. But, freedom of choice doesn't mean freedom from consequences, right? So most seasons I would get to sit on top of my hill in my little rain jacket, watching that wash just tear everything apart. Because that wash is crazy, man. It's like a raging river when it pours. I've seen an entire van get buried up to its windows in that shit. Uh, yeah, and then like the day after, once it's not raining anymore, go sit up on top of the hill with a beautiful view of the wash and just eat popcorn while the person who built their camp there just has a complete meltdown before they realize that they're totally fucked, and then you just never see them around again. They just leave. So yeah, if you're in a space in Slabs and you're like, wow, this spot looks way too good to be true. Like, why is nobody camping here? There's probably a reason. Unless you're like outside of the main area, like outside of Slabs proper, where there's a lot more open space. If it seems like it's too good to be true, it probably is, and your shit's gonna get fucked. But I'm glad that I learned that early, because I could have pulled into a wash somewhere else where German Peter wasn't and didn't warn me, and then I could have had my van completely stuck. I don't remember if it rained that season at all, but I think it did. I don't know. It doesn't rain super often during the winter time, but when it does, it really comes down. Let's see here. Woken Broke asks, housed up? Kinda. Like, low key. Not like proper housed up, but pretty good. Definitely not on the street. This would be miserable. My heart goes out to anybody out in this. And there are thousands. Hundreds of thousands. Like, I think 100,000 homeless people in not Slabs. There's no homeless people in Slabs because people can build homes. In LA, there's, people talk about crime and homelessness and whatever and poverty and Slabs, but it's like, bro, look around any major city. Like, where are you? Do you live under a rock? Do you know who your neighbors are and what their criminal past is? And do you care that there's people on your block that are freezing to death? Like, I don't know, man. Anyway, let's see. Man, these transphobic goofballs are really, really lucky that my mods are so patient. You guys are being so patient with whoever you were talking to. Like, actually spending your valuable time trying to educate them. Good on you. Well done, guys. But you don't have to put yourselves out for folks like, you know the drill. I'm not going to tell you how to do what you do. It's a collective effort anyway. I'm not your boss. But, damn, you guys are being so gracious and trying to actually explain basic concepts to grown-ass people. I assume grown-ass people. Yeah. Sam says the library wash wipes out the whole road. It does. Yeah, you can't get anything across it. Man, you guys are so much nicer than I am. Midnight Bob says you're a wonderful storyteller. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. Robin says your mods are definitely wonderful. They are. I have the best mods ever. Seriously. Like, yeah, I'm so grateful for them. You guys are the shit. Big shout out. Oh, let's see. Where was I? Chat, tell me where I was. What do you... I've been rambling for a good 50 minutes now. What are some questions that you might have given what I've been talking about? I will pay attention to chat now and stop rambling for a minute. You guys tell me what you'd like to hear me talk about, or if there's any questions that you have about any of the tales that I've been telling. I just didn't want to get off my flow there, but now I've lost the flow. Actually, I'm gonna lose the flow even more and do a little bit of creative. Yeah. We're gonna completely lose the plot in about 10 minutes. And that edible is kicking in. I underestimated that edible, I must say. Let's see. Steven says washing out in Slabs. That is where I was. Thank you, Steven. Janice says, hello, I missed the Cash App information. Oh, Captain's on the fucking spot right there. Rhombus says, I just came in, so I'm not sure. Well, that question wasn't directed at you then. You lurk and hang out. You're good. Sapphire says, oh shit, what did I just stumble upon? Oh, Sapphire, you missed a good rant here. Welcome. Glad you made it. It's not over yet, though. I'm opening the floor to questions about some of the things that I've been talking about. Early days in slabs, circa 2012, before people had internet in their pockets, and I was still using paper maps. And hey, Mad Mac, what's up, dude? This is Mac, new channel. Hope you're doing good. I'm great, man. I'm sitting in front of a heater right now, getting warm. It's cold out, man. Yeah. Early days of slabs, 2012. Whoops. Oh, no. There we go. Okay, how's my mic? I got kind of a ratchet setup here. Forgive me. Jackson says, bro, show me the hair. Turn back, please. You guys want to see my haircut? I haven't really shown it to you. I'll do the thing. Here we go. I even got a spinny chair. Hey. All right. What's up? And then I can like style it up, or I can do like the pompadour like I like to do, or you know, have it whatever which way. My hairstylist did me good. Divorce says, do you think it's possible to live like slabs anywhere in the U.S.? Tons of people do. Like, I don't know what you mean. Like, lots of people live off grid all over the world. Slabs is not unique in that way. There are a few things that are very unique about Slab City, but living off grid is not one of them. Especially nowadays with more information through like TikTok and Instagram and other social media and YouTube, where people have been sharing this information for a good decade now, and we're getting better at it. So there's definitely like there's little pop-up communities and people with properties, and I'm sure there's other small squatter towns elsewhere in the U.S. I've been looking for years and have yet to find anything quite like slabs, but there's definitely a few places that are somewhat like slabs. Now, if you're talking about living free, like without building codes how you want to, like you can do that on those types of places, like as I mentioned, but like the big issue is of course government oversight, and that's why a lot of people went to slabs back in that day and still do, because they don't like the government and they don't want anything to do with it. And nowadays there's a lot of cop presence, and that sucks. In the last like 3 years there's been a lot more cop presence, but until our government stops breathing down our fucking necks and telling us what to do all the time and trying to control us, like I don't know how much longer slabs is gonna be possible. But you know, knock on wood, that we just keep flying under the radar, because they got bigger fish to fry. Oh yeah, I was gonna do some kratom and keep up with the chat. Let's see. Folks like the hair. We call that haircut a mullet here in Oz. It's actually not a mullet. It's a mullet hawk pompadour, because it's a mohawk. It's an actual mohawk, but it is a mullet also, and it's a pompadour. So, well, I guess it's not right now, but when it is up, then yeah, it's a mullet hawk. Whatever. My barbers keep trying to steer me closer into a mullet, and I'm like, no, dude, it's the mullet hawk. You got to keep the sides right. You know, don't try and blend it in and give me a mullet. Like, I want the mullet hawk, get it right, or I'm gonna start cutting my own hair again. And they're like, okay. No, that Ryan, the last guy that cut my hair is on. He's a punk. He gets it. But you know, I've only had 3 people cut my hair in my entire adult life besides me. I've had like friends and partners shave up my sides for me before, but that's like not something that I take lightly, you know. Let's see. Keenan says, yo, love your streams. Thank you, Keenan. Pampa Hakador. Yes, dude. Yes. Yeah, I told Ryan I want like I like to do my hair up like the pompadour part at least, like my grandpa used to. There's this back when he was serving in the Navy, he was a Navy pilot, and he had a fresh cut, man. He had a real nice pompadour that he'd always have up, and that's kind of the look that I emulate when I put my hair up. But I can't go full grandpa mode. I'm too young and beautiful for that. I gotta have the mullet too. Yeah, first year in slabs. I wonder if Baloo is still in chat. Are you still in chat, dude? Let's see. What? I saw somebody asked a question like about hobbies and stuff, and I don't know if they were asking about like back in that era of slabs, but like stuff that we would do for fun was I mean, I've been an alcoholic since I was a kid, so mostly drinking for me, but like a lot of just sitting around playing music together on acoustic instruments and playing cards. I know that sounds like old school as fuck, but that's like literally what we did. We played acoustic instruments and played cards and drank booze, and you know, our main entertainment besides that was a good fire and some food, hopefully. That's what we did. And I would host little listening parties because like I said earlier in my stream, I had all my music on a hard drive so that I could listen to it when I was out in the middle of the desert, and I'd have like listening parties. I'd bust out my speakers. I had a pretty nice subwoofer back then because I really give a shit about music. And I'd tell friends and be like, hey, you want to come hang around a fire and drink, and I'll play an album or two, and then we can discuss the album together while we drink more, and then yell into the night about stuff, and you know, yeah, that's what we did. Sam says you mentioned doing boxing training and weights and stuff out in the desert. Yeah, back in 2012, I used to hang out with Half Pint a lot before she got weird. She got weird in the last few years and like super transphobic, so that sucks. But we used to be like really tight, and she had at her camp, which was kind of near where my camp was at that time. It was near the tanks. I would walk down there, and she'd give me boxing tips and let me punch on her boxing bag, and like we'd take turns holding the bag for each other and pumping weights. And she had like a cool little gym, and she'd let me come and use it every day. Let's see. Oh, Sam also said y'all were out there doing hooping and circus stuff from what I saw. Yeah, that was yeah, circus camp lasted up until around the time that I moved into the library. So that is that era. Back when I first came out, the first year I don't think circus camp was there. The second year I came out, they had been there and had a pretty decent camp that they were building up, and they built it up like it was pretty big and it was impressive. And they were holding multiple weekly events, and they would have like all sorts of different stuff. You can watch a lot of this on my video, the first slab like documentary that I tried to make. It's called I think it's just called like What is Slab City or something like that, and it's not We Are the Real Slab City. That was a number of years later. But yeah, I think it's literally just called What is Slab City or something like that. And you can see a lot of circus camp from that time, and they lasted a summer, maybe 2 summers, I can't remember. But then there was some interpersonal drama, and the camp fell apart over the next season after that. But circus camp used to be like a really, really special place for me. I spent a lot of time there. That was my first time getting to actually play with like flow toys and hoops and fire staff and stuff like that. And it was also my first real introduction to like um, gender deconstruction and gender identity and trans identities and like they them pronouns in actual use, because like I was they them before then, but I didn't really like I wasn't like in that yet, you know what I mean? And it wasn't until my time at circus camp being around other queer folks that were like had been using they them pronouns and were like very familiar, like, you know, it's they had adopted that into their vocabulary fully, to the point where it wasn't like they were, because at that point I was still just learning how to use singular they them and like what that means and what gender identity is and stuff. So that was a really important time for me developmentally as well, and I'm so grateful for that. And I still do talk to of a couple of the folks that started it. Not often. I follow one on Instagram, um, and other um, the other person, I don't think that they have social media presence, but they did stop at the library and hang out and stay for like a couple days at one point a few years ago. Let's see. Mm-mm. We used to call it androgyny, but I've been genderqueer since I was a young teenager. Cheers. Hell yeah, Sapphire. Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh. I swallowed a big air bubble. Oh, that hurts. Ugh. Wolf Drifter says, I identify as a lamp. No, you don't. Lamps don't type, you fucking moron. I like a lamp. Just a Mom says, I identify as a threat to bigots. Yes, and I identify as an attack helicopter. Mad Max says, we got rain. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's been raining hard over here, and I'm pretty sure the wind's heading eastward, southeast. So that would bring it right to you. So that same rain was maybe pouring right over me a few hours ago. All right, chat. Who in chat identifies as an attack helicopter? Raise your hand. Max says, yeah, I worry about my peeps on the lower canal. Yeah, that's a sketchy spot to be. Sam says, it even rained 12 drops of rain on me just before in Australia. Maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe that is the same rain. Matt identifies as a dragonfly. That's cool. Dragonflies also don't type, though. Attack helicopters do. Emma Shows is an attack helicopter. Justamon is also an attack helicopter. Robin's an attack helicopter. Hell yeah. See, you don't want to fuck with attack helicopter crew, man. We're gonna fucking mow your ass down, and you're gonna like it because you're gay. The twist here is that we're all actually gay attack helicopters, and we're coming for your ass. Sam is a meadow goblin. Okay, we could definitely use a little bit more diversity in our team. Gay Rude Boys Unite. What up, Corin? Hey, what's up, Bodie? Hell yeah. I've been meaning to make a T-shirt that just says like "Rude Boy" on it, but like in a punk font. I don't know. I'm workshopping it. By the way, do you like this shirt? I just got this last night at the party. Sick, right? I'm pretty happy about it. Quick save there, Justin Mom. Jesus Christ. Some people just have no class. Gnomes and goblins dancing on in the moonlight. What a sight. Yeah, that's basically what Slab City was back then. Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about my camp. Um, Midnight Bob says I repair attack helicopter main rotor mass. That's awesome, dude. I hope that's true because that's badass. The chain on it looks like your necklace. I definitely do like the juxtaposition, like how these go together. This is like kind of my new favorite ensemble. Ensemble. Rizzler Bear is 12 years old. You're not supposed to be on my channel, child. I'm gonna block you before your mom finds out. Very, very bad. So yeah, for like the first 3 years, 3 seasons, because okay, so like, if you're not aware of how things go at slabs, most people live in slabs seasonally, and they're nomadic or semi-nomadic, and some people will come down for the winter, like old timers that would be seasonal would have it be like their kickback spot during the winter and then have another spot during the summer, or like the younger folks would be traveling kids, dirty kids, and come in caravans, like shitty vans, riding trains, whatever, on foot, hitchhiking, dropped off by friends or whatever, and they'd come through slabs for sometimes a couple days, sometimes a few weeks, sometimes a few months, and fuck off. Everybody fucks off in the summer because it gets really hot. And then there's a few people that stay year round, and it is a big commitment. It's really difficult. It's deadly, and it's not for the faint of heart. And there were even much less people that lived in slabs year round back then than there are now. But so I was one such seasonal person, young dirty kid with a shitty van, traveling around with my other bum buddies. I guess that's not what I same thing. I don't know. I feel like any van full of dirty kids is also like a toxic ass polycule, but I'm not judging. I've done that. But anyway, so yeah, I was staying out in slabs seasonally through the winter, and where my camp was at the tanks. There's two tanks. They used to be water tanks back when Slab City was a military base, and that's why Slab City is called Slab City for people that don't know, because it used to be a military base during World War II, and then after the war, they dismantled everything and took everything except for the slabs. So the only thing left of the base was concrete slabs, and I later found out a bunch of big ass piping between like the water system and the septic tank. Like you can go walk around by the hot spring and you can find like big remnants of the pipes that they didn't feel like pulling up, and also those berms that covered them. But the tanks back then, they were just called the tanks, and there was the war tank and the sex tank, or the Kama Sutra tank, and I lived next to the war tank, and they had the most incredible art on them, and it was untouched, like, because people had respect. And before, I think maybe a little after I moved into the library, after I was, because I remember, because like they got tagged by some bitch ass, not talented, shitty taggers. They came and defaced this gorgeous art, and like I can't even describe it. Like it it was like an oracle. Like it was like a prophetic, both of them were prophetic art pieces that like had a lot to say about society and philosophy, and I spent hours and hours and hours looking at them. um, and all it took was for one shit ass little bitch to fucking tag his stupid ass name over like one of my favorite parts of the piece on the war tank, and then after that people just tagged it all up to shit, and now you can't see any of the original stuff anymore. But it was incredible artwork, and I still don't know the name of the person that made it. I think he's still alive and that he doesn't want to be known. Talking to some of my old timer friends, I've spoken to a couple folks that are like, oh yeah, I know who painted that. He's been back, but that was a number of years ago too. So I don't know if he's still around or still alive or whatever. But if this, I think it's from the reports that I've heard, it's a man. So if he happens to be watching, or they happen to be watching, um, I thank you for your art. I loved the message behind it. It was like clearly really well thought out, and it wasn't just like wingnut shit either. It was like there was some real heavy truth to that, especially at the war tank. Like I still think about it all the time. And the Kama Sutra tank was incredibly beautiful and so like so feral and visceral. Like it, yeah. I spent a lot of time being inspired by that art. So thank you, whoever you are, and I wish you well. Blue says I loved that art. Yeah, dude, it was incredible. And like, it was the year that I moved into the library or so that it got defaced. And I remember thinking to myself, like, fuck. Like, if I was still living up there, then I would have beaten the shit out of those guys. And I just, like, part of me felt kind of responsible for not being there. Um, yeah, it sucked. It pissed me off, man. But there are a lot of pictures, and I think Half Pint actually has like I might still have somewhere on a hard drive the copies of before they got defaced. She went and took like a series of pictures all the way around both of them. So it's um, it's out there, and I've got pieces of it in a number of my own pictures. But you can't capture that because they were huge, man. Shit, Blue might even know who the guy that painted it was. Do you know that guy? Do you know who it was? I'm just curious. I don't need you to tell me. I just want to know if you know. There's old videos of the old tanks art if you dig around on YouTube, I think. Yeah, I think it would be really, really good to like save that too and back it up just in case anything ever happens to those videos as well. Hell yeah, just a mom says corn is they them. You can Google, but it's basic grammar. Also, I did an entire series on it. But the thing is, people that are ignorant in that way they're not interested in actually learning. They just want to go and yell at people that they don't know about something that they have nothing to do with, which is their own internal insecurities. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, getting off topic, but if that person actually did want to learn about how to have basic respect and how to speak their first language effectively, like they're on the internet. They just don't care to. I don't, but so much time and love was put into that masterpiece. Yeah, for real. Let's see. What else? Yeah, anybody have any questions, comments? I'm just following along in chat now. AC says hilarious, unfortunately hurtful stuff we learned as literal children. Some people didn't though, man. Some people are like actual troglodytes and they grew up under a shitty rock. What's the necklace made from? It's pop tabs, man. I collected a bunch of, where are they? Collected a bunch of pop tabs and made a necklace. And this is one of those chain link things. Like, I forget what the technical term is for it. Dude, why is it that every time I go live lately, some fucking goober asks me if I'm emo? Like, do children know that there is more alternative styles than emo? Emo is the youngest one. Like, I come from punk and goth, which are way older than emo. Emo is not even a real style, you guys. Get some real fashion. I'm not gonna go on an emo rant, though. I'm gonna hold my tongue. Sam says, you establishing firm boundaries at your tanks camp is interesting to me. You didn't put up with tweakers busting through your camp. Yeah, well, I've never been the kind of person to just, like, let people fucking steamroll me either. And I'm familiar with that. So, like, you know, if you're talking about, like, how people would establish their camps and stuff, before the slabs started kind of exploding with popularity and younger folks coming through, it was just kind of common knowledge and common courtesy to respect people's like camp boundaries, because there was plenty of space for people to be. And what most of the folks in the earlier era, like the 70s 80s era slabs, which I know very little about, but they would establish their camp, like their yard, with tires, and they would paint them white, which there's still some camps in slabs with the old white painted tires around the perimeter, and you just would, like, leave it alone. But then one of the reasons why the old timers really, really hated the younger folks coming in is because a lot of schwaggerts would come in with them. And a schwaggert is a swag ass motherfucker that is probably schwilly and doesn't give a fuck about you or what you want in your space and camp and boundaries. And being a dirty kid, I know how dirty kids work, and I know that sometimes some fucking schwiller is gonna stumble into your camp and try to kick your dog and beat you up, and you gotta fucking throw him in a fucking creek or something, or whatever. So I'm accustomed to that. So that's second nature to me. And I had my camp clearly marked, and there was no need for, like, well, back then there was starting to be a need for, like, proper fences, but it wasn't, like, full blown like now. A lot of people have big fences, and I was one of the first people to build a large fence. And yeah, definitely not the first. There were a few pretty decent fences that were built before mine was, but yeah, and I was one of the first people to put up a sign too, besides the, what was the other sign that was up? I don't remember. I think it was just for Salvation Mountain somewhere or something. Yeah. Janice says, did my kid... Oh, kickdown. Yeah, let's take a look and see if any of y'all got down with kickdown on the PayPal or the Cashapp. Let's see. Actually, okay, cool. I do. Let's see. Loading. Sapphire says, that was one of the things that really attracted me to you, Corn, was how you don't put up with shit. Yeah. Yeah, I don't fucking play. Let's see. That was definitely a big way that I got my reputation out in slabs too. Like, if... Oh, Janice, thank you so much. I'm heart reacting your kickdown. Thank you. I appreciate that. Bodie says, Corn don't give a fuck. Fuck yeah, dude. Try me. No, I actually, I don't throw hands anymore. but I can. I absolutely can throw hands. I just choose not to. Um, but back then, oh, I sure did. Um, I sure fucking did. John says, I remember when I put up the hostel sign by the mountain, some were so pissed. I know, yeah, because I, oh, yeah. But you remember when you, because before you put up the big sign, I had this little one, like, about yay big. And it just literally was just like this tiny little, like, handmade street sign type thing that said, like, library 2 point, whatever, 3 point, I can't remember exactly how many miles it is from Salvation Mountain, but it was like this little ass sign, and fucking Ella had like a meltdown. She was like, "You can't put up signs in front of Salvation Mountain and blah 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 blah." And she almost wanted to like pull it down, and she was the one getting all mad about it. And I think some other people had something to say about it, and they were like, "You can't just do that. This is Slabs. We don't want signs all over the place." And then Blue was like, "Actually, I'm gonna make a big sick ass sign, and I'm gonna ask East Jesus and the library and Andra to also make signs." And that's what he did, and it's still there. It's a beautiful sign. It's very nice and colorful and big, and folks did a really good job. I've wanted the library sign to be redone for a while, but I never got around to it before I left. Maybe if I go back, I'll offer to do that. I don't know. I don't have any plans to head back to Slabs right now. I'm fucking stuck here, man. Gotta put the kids to bed later, dude. Peace out, dude. Thanks for joining us. Janice says, "You're welcome, and I'm glad that you got it. Appreciate it." What a sweetheart. What was it like to perform music back then? Pretty much like it is now. Just the range on a Saturday night is kind of feels like going to a small town church, but also a small town dive bar, like a backwoods fucking dive bar. It's like, if you put those two together and then added like a lot more chaos, um, that's that's the range. Really like a good mix of wholesome and dangerous. Mostly wholesome, but sometimes it's like, is this okay? And like playing music was kind of the main thing to do back then, and I did it a lot, and it just was really a lot like it is today. Just a really good community time, and just like checking in with your neighbors and friends and folks that you don't see all the time throughout the week, and just sit together and eat snacks. Back then they didn't have like vending. No, they sometimes did, I think, at the range, but at a certain point the Oasis Club started selling food over there. I don't remember what the deal was. I'm sure Bill does, but Mischief Maker says Audrey has abandoned the library. Could hang it's in others' hands now. That's not even a sentence, and I don't know who the fuck Audrey is, dude. God, I hate it when people fucking say stupid shit. Wolf Drifter is asking me for the fifth time if I've ever been to San Diego Zoo. Bro, I don't know why you're fucking asking me that. Like, what do you... Stop it. I ignored you the first 4 times you asked, and I'm gonna keep ignoring you because that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, and it's getting annoying, and I'm gonna put you in timeout if you don't stop asking the same question in my chat over and over again. Blue says, I remember when the Black Sheep tried to take over the stage. Cause a few others, and I had to toss them. I think I also helped with that. It's hard to remember because I was drunk the whole time, like for a good 15 years almost. But that's sounding familiar. Greetings from Ireland. Hey, what's up? Micheline, is that how you say that? Welcome. Giant Tiger Film says, I've wanted to play music on the range so bad. That is a very attainable goal. Just show up on a Saturday night and tell Bill your name and put it on the list and then play. It's that easy. Believe me. Yeah, man, those black sheep kids were so much of a problem back then too. Like I used to beat up those kids sometimes because they would just like come in and like just ruin shit. And like no wonder the old timers hated the younger folks and the dirty kids coming in because of those people. Like if you've got a sack full of apples and one apple is actually made of poop, you're gonna be like, I don't fuck with apples, dude. Like I don't care that most of them are pretty okay. One of them is made of poop, and I don't want to deal with that. So like, I get it. I get why, and that's why I started beating kids up, because I was like, yo, these kids are not only like making things harder for the people here, but they're making things harder for us too, and like, it's just not good. So there definitely came to be more of a culture of keeping the community clean back then that I definitely had a pretty big hand in, um, and a number of others too. Like I didn't start that, but I definitely helped a lot with community cleanup and just running out shitheads that fuck things up for everybody else. They were trying to steal instruments. I think I remember that. That does sound very familiar. I just can't remember if those are the same kids that were shitting in the hot spring too. Fucking assholes. Yeah, I feel that so many fucking weird things have happened at the range. I've thrown more people than I can even count. Like literally like picked them up and thrown them off the fucking off the slab at the range. Just mom says, used to fight a lot when I was younger, and 90% of the time it was in defense of someone else. Yeah, like I've never picked a fight with anybody because, like, just to hurt somebody. Whoa. Definitely, I, I would fight for, to help. To help, like, and now I've evolved a bit with my philosophy, and I haven't come across a situation yet that I've felt like the only way to get through it is to throw hands. So, I guess yeah, I'm a pacifist now. I think. No, what is it? I'm non-violent. I'm not a pacifist. I'm non-violent. But you can't be non-violent unless you're capable of violence. Just the mom says, Ace, how old are you? Ace says, you look like someone little me would look up to. Your style is awesome. Thank you. Hey, just a mom. I don't actually care if kids are in the chat. I only care if they're in the chat. Like, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I do mark the box that this is not appropriate for children because I have to. But like, also, if they're not being a problem, then I don't really care. Like we were all kids at one point. Rhombus says, is there a lot of drama there? Man, anywhere that there's humans, there's going to be drama. And when there's different and unique conditions, you're going to get different and unique types of human drama. That's just it. Just the mom says, my favorite quote. Which one? I missed it. No worries. Yeah. Totally. Just want to clarify. I'm only talking shit at the kids when they're being fucking shit stains, okay? And also because I don't want to get in trouble. Like this person, Infinite Youth. Go get off your mother's phone, dude. If you like, if they come into my chat and they say something about piercings thinking they're original, they have to be like 10 years old. You know what I mean? Catman says, why do you care? Who are you responding to? I want to know who cares and why they care about being a peaceful if you're not. Oh, yeah, word. That's a I mean, yeah, you can't practice nonviolence if you're not capable of violence. Then you're just harmless. And I'm definitely not harmless. I'm, uh, yeah, we don't glorify violence in this house anymore. Not anymore. We don't do that. We are nice and we are kind. Captain says about the piercings. Ah, word. It's so funny. It's like, how do people like? These are really common piercings. I don't know. Like this is not that crazy. Y'all should see some of my friends. You would you would be like, oh, you do that. What's that meme where the guy's like, that would be you crawling out of your little rock and being like, someone is different than I am, and my papa is, and my mama, and my brother, and they're different. Mom, look, they're different. Mom, look, they're different. That's what you sound like when you that's what you sound like when you make comments on other people's piercings. Okay, just FYI. Just Mom says I saw some dope ones that spiral inward that I wanted to get you if I had money. Oh, you're sweet. John says somebody asked if there's drama. Maybe tell the story about Can. Oh my God, I'm gonna get to that. Okay, so I'm glad that you bring that up, Baloo, because I'm gonna be doing talk like this about different particular topics. So I'm trying to keep it like on theme. Um, so today, this is the talk about 2012 to like 2014 era, my early days before I moved into the library, and what Slabs was like there. And then I wanted to talk about the pirate games as its whole own topic because that was such a shit show. Um, and then I could definitely do a whole episode talking about Cannibal Ray for sure. Um, uh, if I did that though, he would definitely message me on something because I know he fucking still e-stalks me somehow. He would probably try to threaten to kill me again. Anyway, and then I'm gonna do uh, a stream. I'm gonna try every day this week. No guarantees. There might be a day or two that I gotta take a break because I'm special. I need breakies and I need long video game time with snackies and recovery for and also I do a lot of other shit besides that. But some days, you just have burnout and you really can't function or you get busy or whatever. But I'm going to be doing talks every day this week about slab subjects from my time there over the better part of over a decade. Remember the flag at the mountain drama there? Which flag? There have been a few flag dramas. Actually, there's been a lot of flag drama in Slabs. A lot of every kind of drama. I've seen it all, man, and others have too. What do you think? Says, damn, Corn, it's been a few years since I've seen you live. Haven't seen you since you first left the slab. Yeah, man, it's been a journey. You should catch up on my stuff. I've got a lot of content since then, and I don't know. I think it's good. I think you should check it out. Chat, what do you think? Should yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Check out my other content that I've put out since 2021. Yeah, I think I left Slabs in 2021, 22. Shit. Oh man, how's my stream? Are you guys still here? My shit just dropped for a second. Looks like we still got the same amount of people. Spicoli says, I'm out dashing, but I'm glad that I caught you again. Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for stopping in. Captain says, fuck shit and more. Indeed. Indeed, sir. Remember, okay, let's see. Cook for us again, too? Maybe. I don't have much for cooking amenities right now, but I guess that's kind of the point of the off-grid eats, isn't it? I'm just reading your response to the troll. That's fucking funny. Dakota Manning says this. Is that better not be racist or something? I hope it's cool. Caught a metal show in the Slabs in November. Oh, sick, dude. Which show was that? Because there have been a few metal bands that have stopped through Slabs. There's been a lot more. I mean, there's always been like big names that have passed through Slabs, but there's been a little bit more like punk and metal coming through in the last couple of years, which is really exciting. All right. Vegas Strucker says, check it out, a wealth of content. Oh, thank you. Hell yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of lore between Slabs and now. Like things got crazy. You thought Slabs was cool? Fucking catch up on what I've been up to. I'm serious. Like it. Yeah. If you thought I just like left Slabs and like got a real regular day job and got an apartment in some little city somewhere and like you couldn't be more wrong, man. When I left Slabs to go on adventures, and that's exactly what I did. Oh, during capture the flag. Oh my god. Then Jamie and the kids painted over the painted flag because they got mad about capturing their flag. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I. You should come back in for the pirate games because I know you saw like during that era. I was really, really, really drunk most of the time, like 90% of the time. So like I don't remember a lot of stuff. So stuff like that. Like I would not have even remembered that. Yeah, you should come in for that. I think I'll do that one tomorrow, unless I think of something that makes more sense chronologically. Because like I literally just decided to do the series an hour before the stream started. Jackie says, "Yes, you was wild making something out of nothing." Thank you, I appreciate that. That's what I did, and my hair's fucked up. That's what I love Slabs for. You can just go and drag shit out of the desert and put it together in whatever way you see fit and make something. And nobody's gonna. I mean, somebody might come and try to fuck it up, but like, the government's not gonna be like, you can't do that here. You need to get the right permits. Give me all of your money for nothing. Is your bus still there? Yes, I sold it to another individual that is a good friend of mine, and it's still there, still running, still good. I haven't heard anything about it. No news is good news in this case. William says, Corn, good to see you. Good to see you too, man. All right. Oh yeah, mods. Anybody that says something makes a joke about magnets in relation to my piercings, just go ahead and give them a 24-hour timeout. Because like they think that they're being original, but I don't think that they're smart enough to actually be like a legitimate threat to my channel. So I don't think we need to ban them. They could be fun for later entertainment. But if they come in and they're like, huh, the face piercings, huh, magnets, just they're gonna be so annoying. See, I'm just putting them on like 24-hour timeout, so they can come back and I can roast them again if they are smart enough to find my channel again. Don't remember the band's name, but it was Lucky Fine. It was Lucky Fine for a random night there. Immediately got lost in the desert afterwards, trying to find her tent again. That's a familiar story. Yep, I know it well. Oh man. Mr. Pineapple says it's my B-day. Happy birthday, dude. says, one time you said planting walls in the slab's ground. It was too adorable for words as a building method name. Huh. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but it sounds nice. Maybe you can explain a little bit more. Hey, Sapphire came and was it, what is it, another magnets comment? That's so funny. I hope it was, because that's hilarious. I'm sure every single person that comes in saying that thinks that they're the first person that has ever said that to me. It's cute. It's like so stupid that it's kind of adorable. Today we're gonna plant walls. It was genius description. Okay, yeah, I think I was referring to putting post holes in, posts and holes. Gia is asking me about marriage for some reason. Fucking weird. I've never seen soda tabs used but like that. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and steal this idea. I stole it from somebody else. Not, I stole the idea from somebody else, but I've seen it before. People do this. I'm sure somebody's got like a tutorial online or something. And then, of course, you can add a little bit of hardware for some panache. Mina says, can I have your energy, please? Go get some coffee, babe. Go get a nice cup of black coffee and drink 3 of them on an empty stomach with a hefty scoop of kratom. Then you'll be on the corn level. Just digging in wood pallets, nice. Oh. Wolf Drifter says, you got to admit it's a funny joke, lol. No, it's like not even a funny joke. Like if it was a funny joke, it would be funny maybe the first 5 times, but then after like 10 or so times, then it's just like, oh my god, shut up. It's annoying. Especially like, I guess it's not funny because it's not even like true. Because most jewelry isn't made with magnetic metal. It's made with like titanium and stuff, which doesn't actually even stick to metal. So it's like, it's not only like unfunny and repetitive, but it's also just incorrect, which I'm autistic. So like, if the basis of the joke is like not like it's a fallacy, like, or it's untrue, then I just can't get past that. I really just can't. I'm just like, yes, but that's actually not how, you know, what would happen because this and that, and that's not true. And I don't get your joke. Explain. And then when they explain it, like, just loses all meaning. Are the necklace attached together by magic? Yes, it's magic. AKA handiwork. Midnight Bob says you can pop corn, but you can't pop goulash. Bro, take your meds. What the fuck are you talking about? What? I hope that you're responding to, like, I hope that makes sense in context and I just missed the context because I want to know what that means. Or if it means nothing. Space Cowboy says, good to see you, Corn. Do you remember the day during lockdown I stopped by, dropped you a black rose ring, and rolled on? I think so, yeah. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Sapphire says, sorry, Cam, I got sick of that person's lame-ass questions. Yeah, in that case, mods, if somebody's, like, just being repetitive and annoying, but not, like, straight-up malicious, then just give them a 24-hour timeout and let them try again, and if they're still annoying the next time, then, you know, figure it out then, I guess. Mina says, I subbed, by the way. Welcome. I hope you're not being zesty. I hate that kids are writing AHH instead of just saying ass. Like, do you say that out loud? Because I don't, like, do you say dusty like, what, or do you just say dusty ass? Like, is it supposed to be implied that the H's are S's and you're just, like, your mom won't let you swear, so you use H's instead of, like how we used to say, like, HE double hockey sticks? Is it like that? Or, like, yes, they do? That's so dumb. Ah, man, that's so dumb. I'm sorry. That's okay. Sapphire says, "See, I'm nicer." Oh, I see that. I'm nicer than that. I've been giving them 30 minutes. Yeah, you know, use your better judgment, I guess. Like if that's what you want to do, then you can play with them. I don't give a shit. I just, as long as I'm not dealing with them, I don't care. But, you know, if you don't want to deal with them again during the stream, then just time them out for 24 hours. And then since they got banned later in the stream or muted, time out later in the stream, then they won't be able to talk until like the end of tomorrow's stream, which is kind of funny. Just a Mom says, I need a translator. Duolingo. Yes. That's me. I can translate the kids speak, but I also make fun of it. Young enough to know the lingo, old enough to hate it. Sam says, I wrote things like Dayom for years because I thought it made me sound cool. Oh, no. Skibbity Toilet, Ohio. Okay, we are getting into brain rot depths with the stream and the chat right now. Okay, you guys, I felt the brain rot. And now I'm really high, actually. The kratom's kicking in, so I should probably fuck off. I'm going to smoke the rest of this little cigarette here, and if anybody has any questions about the early days in Slabs before I fuck off, then now's your time to shine. Go ahead. Ask about stuff. About Slabs from 2012 to 2014. The way that things were back then. Ooh, I'm going to get my wool blanket. It's a good day. Ooh, I'm going to get the other one, actually. Yes, it's a good blanket. I got this in Slabs, actually. I don't know who left it, but suddenly one day at the library, I noticed like a stack of 4 of these wool blankets that I assumed somebody came and dropped off as a donation when maybe I wasn't around, or I was wasted and I didn't remember that happening, or something, but yeah, I still carry this. So whoever you were that came and left those badass, maybe I did a business deal, I don't know, I could have traded for them or something, but wherever they came from, I love it, and it's kind of still something that I carry with me. Blue says, remember back in the day when we would drag cars with a chain flipping all over the place down the roads? Oh yeah, all the time, just dragging cars and RVs all over the place. Man, getting that RV from the internet cafe over to the library, that first RV that's, I think it got dragged away. I think Aurora sold it. But, you know, she moved her bus there, but it didn't have any wheels. There was no front seat or anything. I was sitting on a fucking propane tank and being pulled by one of my original neighbors, like through the wash. And it was one of the most terrifying and exhilarating experiences of my life, honestly. But yeah, I mean, people still do that sometimes, but man, we went hard. You gotta do what you gotta do. Cam's still talking. Oh man, you're taking to task those fucking folks. I'm yes. I love it when things get a little spicy. All right, that's why I like Slabs, because it's spicy. It's a little extra spicy place. Weird shit happens all the time. You really never knew what was gonna happen. Like, up at my camp too, like up at the tanks on top of the hill, right behind Salvation Mountain. Like it was kind of a weird zone, and sometimes people would like show up in paragliders even because it's on a hill and it's by Salvation Mountain, so they would like land and take off paragliders or ride around. I saw my first drone up there and I was like, what the fuck is that? And like sometimes like a movie crew or like somebody famous would walk by. It's the fucking desert, middle of nowhere, and like just whatever. Or a couple of times, one time in particular, a couple of drunk ass schwilly dirty kids drove their car into my camp while I'm having like a dinner with my friends around a campfire, and they just like got stuck in the sand there, and I was having a really good time with my friends, and then they pissed me the fuck off. So and I was pretty drunk too, and I just snapped and I fucking ran them out. I'm not gonna tell you exactly all the details. So I mean, I don't know. Nobody can prove shit. Anyway, what was the story? They fucking crashed their car like into my camp in the sand, and they get out of their car and it's this guy and a girl, and they're literally like fist fighting each other over a bottle of fucking cheap vodka in my camp. And like I'm like, get the fuck out of my camp, and they're like not listening to me and fucking beating on each other and shit, and I just lose my shit. My homies could see that I was about to lose my shit, so they like kind of step in and they're like, you guys need to get out of here, like let's get your car out and shit. And like they're not cooperating. My friends are being really fucking cool about it, and like for their protection, because they know where my head's at, and like so they're trying to get these people out, and I fucking lose my shit and I rack my shotgun and fire it into the ground. And I'm like, get the fuck out of my camp. And that's when they got like mad scared. So then we helped dig them out, and they fucked off. Stuff like that. Just usually people wandering across camp was like a really cool, happy thing. Like it'd be some really interesting travelers with cool stories, and they were just like, oh, we're just looking for a spot to camp for the night, and be like, hey, set your tent up over here, and there's safety in numbers. We got food cooking over the fire, etc. Chris Bandit said, enjoyed today's story time about the slabs. Looking forward to hearing more. Hell yeah. It's, yeah, I'm probably going to do like a week of slab tales, because it's fun. I don't have to think that hard about it. Let's see. Dude, oh my god, Wolf Drifter just got timed out for 24 hours for because he wouldn't fucking ask. They wouldn't. I don't know if that's a guy. I'm just assuming. I didn't mean to assume your gender, but they're still on the zoo thing. Like, man, holy shit. That's like, okay, this is really off topic, but have you guys seen that interview where Elijah Wood is getting interviewed by the guy that plays Mary, and he's like, do you wear wigs? And Elijah Wood is like, no, I do not. And then he says, have you worn wigs? And he's like, no, I have not. And he says, will you wear wigs? And he says, maybe. And he's like, when will you wear wigs? And fucking Elijah Wood just like loses his shit. He just starts laughing like, dude, what the fuck is happening? That's what just happened. Wolf Drifter is doing a do you wear wigs right now. So that's, yeah. That's hilarious, guys. Okay. Okay. Did you ever meet the YouTuber Zane Green at the Slab? I don't know why people ask about Zane Green so much. I never actually met the guy. I think maybe met him somewhat in passing or something. But he didn't even like last a full year in the slabs. I don't know why. Like he made a few videos and I think he went to Alaska. Like he wasn't there for very long. If I did meet him, it was briefly. Let's see. I love that the mods are getting familiar with the timing out options. That's a fun feature to play with. You guys do what you want with that. Because at least with timeouts, like if there's a mistake or something, or you didn't understand what they were saying, and they meant no harm, then it gives them a chance to come back and explain themselves. I like it. Mr. Moon Tuna says, "Are you planning to return to Slabs to live?" I'm nomadic, and I lived in Slabs for 7 years year round. I'm not looking to live in Slabs or anywhere again for a while. I'm just kind of floating right now. I don't really plan that far ahead, and but I'm not that far. I'm in LA. Like I can go and if there was something going on that I really wanted to get to, I could go to it. Let's see. Howdy with the shoddy. Hell yeah. I'm just reading these deleted messages because they're really, really funny, and I want to just like make fun of them, but also, let's see. Alright. I asked because he's an interesting guy and he's since disappeared. Yeah, when did he disappear? I haven't. I don't really know the guy. He hit me up when I was in Alaska, and invited me to come hang out, but he was in like a really back-ass spot that I didn't end up getting to. Ken says jack off. Yes. Poor little trolleys. How sad for them. It's okay. The statistics for the intelligence of common folks is pretty dismal. So, it's... But we live in the information age. People are learning. People have access to information. It's just some of them are a little slower. A few years back, I think he may be in prison. Oof. That's not good. Stay out of prison, kids. Alright. Wow, 2 hours of tales of Slab City from the early days, 2012 to 2014. I could talk about this, like, this is a good overview, and, if for future topics, I'll definitely touch on stuff that happened during this era as well. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to talk about Slabs. Like I said, I've been there for the better part of the last decade, and I've had a lot of experiences and a lot of time, and gotten to know a lot of people and a lot of what's going on in their lives as well. And building the library to the state that it was when I left, it gave me a really cool and unique opportunity to hear older folks come in and tell me stories about what they remembered from before I ever got to Slabs. So I know a little bit about the pre my arrival history of Slabs as well, that I want to talk about, but I want to do it justice, and there's a lot. Like, I know that there's people out there that have compiled like a comprehensive historical documentation. So if you're one of those people, hit me up and let me know how I can help in preserving that history in some way. Even if you write down like a whole thing for me, or like show me any like pictures, whatever. Tell me your stories. I want to preserve those stories, and you know, if me telling other people about them helps, then I want to do that too. And if you've enjoyed the stream, if you enjoy my content, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe. There's also links in the description to my PayPal, my Cash App, and my Venmo. I'm broke. A kind fella kicked down through Super Chat here on YouTube, and I do appreciate that. But remember, if you kick down on YouTube, YouTube takes a really big cut out of it, and they only pay out once a month. But so if you want to donate directly, so YouTube doesn't skim off a bunch of that money, and also so that I can access it immediately and get a pizza, or you know, a taco or something, or buy supplies for other folks, then you can go and follow those links. There's also merch. You can check out my merch, and we have a Discord server. It's pretty lit. If you've been enjoying being in chat today and you think the mods are cool and the regulars and the reprobates are cool, a lot of them are hanging out in the Discord. Patty N says, being a good storyteller, you should consider writing a book. I did write a book. I wrote a book about my first 3 years on the road, including my first couple seasons in Slabs. And only 2 people read my unfinished manuscript. And then I did another like 8 or so edits after showing them. And I was ready to put it to print. And somebody stole my hard drive that it was on. I had backup files pre-final edits, but I never did anything with it. I could go back and pull up what I can find and see about rewriting it again now that it's been a while. But yeah, that happened to me. I wrote a book and it got stolen and nobody else got to read it. Patty N says, mods are slayers. Yeah, they're fucking badass, huh? I got the wildest mods in the West. Hey. We're almost done with the stream. When I'm done with the smoke, we're done. So if anybody's got any questions, comments, etc., now's your time. Patty N says, where do I see what you wrote? You don't. It got stolen. It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Big D Bob says, really gay vibes. Hell yeah, brother. That's why you're here. Let's see. Hey, we don't know if he was... Let's see. I'm gonna unhide Big Gay Bob just in case they're... It's, you know... It's okay to observe the gay vibes, as long as you're not being a bigot or hateful about it. Sam says, thank you for your time today, Corn. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Just Mom says, no worries. Good eye, but, you know, if in doubt, give him a timeout. Hey, that rhymes too. If in doubt, timeout. And, yeah. Because, like, I can say edgelord shit too, and it kind of can come across as maybe rude. Want to give people a little bit of leeway to feel free to be a little rude and not entirely PC. We are tolerant, but we are not walking on eggshells. You're good, Just Mom. I love you. I love your presence here. Baloo says, really good to see you, Corn. Looking good and healthy. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Thank you very much. I miss you, man. I don't know where you're at right now, but if you're anywhere passing through LA for whatever reason, hit me up. I'll be here for a while. Your eyes look sad. Dude, I'm high. I ate an edible and I just did a fucking big fat scoop of kratom. I don't know why people gotta project weird shit on other people that they don't know. It's very strange. Any more questions? Not quite done with the smoke yet. Still got time. Let's go. Don't waste your time. Mm. Space Cowboy says, you seem in good spirits. Nice. See ya. Thanks, Space Cowboy. See ya, Space Cowboy. Unicorn Ninja says, fun fact, running with scissors is safer than scissoring with the runs. True. Yep. Speaking from experience, I assume. Blue says, same to you, I'm in show low. I don't know what show low is, but fuck yeah. we'll cross paths again. Crazy Paul says, not the balls around them. The balls, I don't know. Are you, sir, this is a Wendy's. Midnight Bob says, Leanne rhymes. No, it doesn't. See that? Yes, that's a good, I like that. Captain says, be a true corn reprobate. Check out the reprobate t-shirt. There is a reprobate t-shirt. I should make some t-shirts. I should make some new t-shirts, handmade. I'm working at a fucking print shop. There's no reason why I shouldn't be making shirts right now. But you can get some now in my merch. There's a link there. There's other stuff too, stickers. I think there's a cool notebook with Satan on it, like stuff like that. Sholo, Arizona? Oh, maybe. Yeah, last I heard Blue was in Arizona. Mr. Moon Tuna says, sending moonshine to all. Catch you all next time. Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you. Hell yeah. I don't drink anymore, so there's moonshine for the rest of you. You're welcome. Otherwise, there would be none for any of you. Oh, really? You're you ended up buying one of the properties out there. That's fucking cool, dude. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely stop through. I want to see what you've done with the place. And that area is so cool. Yeah, fun fact for folks that are regulars on the stream. Another regular is the Colonel. And the Colonel and I, last I saw Blue here, was when I was traveling with the Colonel back to Slabs. And Blue was looking at properties in the area, and I happened to have a friend out there who invited me out to stay for a few nights on his collective, burgeoning commune kind of situation there. And it was a cool trip. We had a lot of fun. That was really cool. I hope the Colonel's well too. He's not in chat today, but he comes in a lot. And he's been doing a lot lately too. So I hope he's well. Wheezy says, yes, I have the fuck tank top. Oh, that's awesome. That's another some of my stolen art. Gnome says, toss your balls for Satan. Yes, not now though. It's too cold and rainy out. Sapphire has the tank top too. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Closer to town. Blue's closer to town. Built a badass homestead holding camp with RV spots, water, solar, septic. Oh, dude, yeah, I'm definitely coming out to visit. Captain Grim says, steal the stolen painting classic tank top. Yes, that is the tank top that folks are talking about. It is a painting that a supporter, a very kind supporter that I still feel bad about. I want to send them something nice. So if that was you, hit me up and I'll see what I can send out to you that has just as much significance as that did, because it got porch pirated, like piracy in a really not cool way. I don't like that they're called porch pirates, because pirates are kind of cool, but yeah, somebody jacked my painting, my original artwork from this person, and now we don't know where it is. Oh, we're getting to the end of it here. Gnome says a T-shirt that says "Toss your balls for Satan." Okay, that's a good one. I like that. Actually, people will be like, "What does that mean?" and they'll think something completely different. That's actually a good idea. I should write that one down. Just a Mom says emu. We could have a T-shirt that says, "I've never been in chat on this stream before. Are you emo?" Alright, well, smoke's out. I'm out. Thanks for joining me today. Tune in tomorrow, I think same time, for another episode of Slab City Tales with a different theme. I don't know what the theme's going to be yet, but if you think of something, leave a comment. Or join us in the Discord and join the chat. And yeah, thanks to everybody that kicked down during the stream today. I haven't been looking at my phone, so I don't know who it is, but if you did, I'll send a heart react if it's on Cashapp, because they don't let me write notes, or I'll send you a little thank you note. And yeah, thank you all so much. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, stay cool. Bye.